So this is the corner 7th and Pine, where I had my bike accident. It wasn't exactly on the corner. It was a house or two in, and I'll give you the story here. It might have been right around here, 706 and similar. So anyway, the bike lanes, which now appear on the left-hand side, used to be over here on the right-hand side, because logically we all learn to ride on the right-hand side, whether, you know, whatever we're doing. But Philly has since switched bike lanes to the left-hand side. I was on this side because the bike lane was on this side. I was riding along down here, just like that guy is there. Hopefully he doesn't get in an accident. But I was on this side. And, oh look, there's a new bike stand here. It might have, maybe, I know the steps were more like this, bigger, and these are smaller here. But there's a bike stand. So I was riding down. I noticed a car that looked like sort of a friend of mine and her partner. It was sort of in the realm of a Honda HRV or CRV and a Honda Pilot, and it had the equality sticker on the back. And I was like, I wondered if it was someone named Steph Schoening. And the thing is, what happened to me happened in the spring of 2012. In 2011, I was made to believe I'd be murdered in my apartment by a series of orchestrated events. Even my mom and aunt's phone lines were severed in Jacksonville, Florida, so that when I tried to reach my mom, I got the doo-doo-doo, we're sorry, the phone number has been disconnected. So anyway, in the year, you know, since January 2011, I hadn't been talking to Steph and her partner Meg for that much, because it was, people disappeared on me as opposed to being supportive. And I was upset. Like, I saw her Honda Pilot, we'll say, with an equality sticker, and in my mind I thought, oh, is that Steph? And I was pedaling down here, and I don't know if I, like, sometimes you stand up to accelerate a little bit, and I might have done that. I'm kind of curious if Philadelphia is hiding evidence, or if they're reversing the curse by switching bike lanes. And someone said that's how far Philly will go to do one or the other, reverse the curse or hide the evidence and try to cover things up. Because there was a manhole cover that I wondered, like, how was my bike accident triggered? By witchcraft? Or by people who have too much power and they're too dumb to have it? So anyway, so I saw her, I kind of accelerated in the bike lane. A double-decker tour bus, like an Apple or one of the red double-decker tour buses, went by, and I went head over heels over my bike, and which resulted in those injuries I just showed. I was stunned. My bike was totally crushed. My left shoe flew off. I'm gonna do the exact path they did. I was just like, you know, I had those metal pedals that have those spikes in them, and I think that's what caused the punctures in my hand. I'm not really sure. I can't figure out how, you know, exactly how everything, you know, came to be or happened. But right away, two women who were walking along who lived in a building down here called the Hopkinson House on Washington Square, or at least one of them lived there. These two ladies who were friends came up to me immediately, and they said, you need to go to the ER immediately. Now, we'll preface that, or we'll say afterwards, that it was universal health care push all the way during, of course, the Obama administration. And I didn't have health care because I wound up stuck in dog walking, which I wasn't supposed to be stuck in. Some argue, I've had people argue who have law degrees and are practicing lawyers who say, well, technically there is an argument for human trafficking because of how bad your case is. So people kept me trapped and stuck in dog walking. I couldn't figure out how to get out, despite having filled out a lot of resumes and applications and having interviewed at quite a few places. Amidst all the chaos, like I was trying to do that while being tortured to death and all the chaos going on. So anyway, these two ladies came up, they said, you have to go to the ER. And my immediate thought was, I don't want to go to the ER, I can't afford to go to an ER. But they said, there's no way. You have to get that stitched up. Like, you are in such bad shape that you're gonna have to go. they were right. Like, technically it was really bad. And then of course injuries sort of show up within 48 hours even more. Like, as your body starts to process the whole injury, it gets worse. It seems like it gets worse before it gets better. So anyway, another woman pulled up who happened to be a full-time dog walker who used to drive around in a Mini Coupe. And she sort of checked on the scene and said, a little show here of nothingness. Thanks for the show, everyone. You're welcome. Caught it on camera. Garfield Duncan Building, 301 South 8th. We wondered if someone would come out today. So anyway, that's what I was told. So anyway, these ladies were like, walk with us, you know. I think I actually left my bike by the stairs when it's like, what did I do with my bike? I don't even remember. So I walked with them over here. As I was walking, one of the ladies started talking about an equality sticker. Within her conversation were too many coincidental things that made it seem like she knew my personal business and or personal thoughts. So I'll leave it at that. But, you know, I would visit a therapist on nonprofit sliding scale. It was like $25, $30 per visit. And I was like, could she hear what I said in my therapy office? And then also the equality sticker stood out. And it's like, how would she know that I thought about the equality sticker on a car that looked like steps? So anyway, now we're on Spruce, and again, bike lanes are on the left instead of the right. They had to switch the bike lanes across the entire city, which could be a setup. And in fact, you know, they've had a couple of people die, one more recently, because cars pass on the left. They never pass on the right. So if a car wants to pass another car, they could speed up and wind up hitting someone in the bike lane on the left where they wouldn't do that on the right. You see what I mean? So that adds the possibility and potentiality and the odds of getting in an accident or hurting a biker or killing one. So we walk over here, the conversation was too coincidental to my personal business, so I was a little weirded out, but I was so in shock again. And I was in shock and awe and terrorized a million times that I just sort of couldn't even think of it. Got admitted into the ER. They stitched me up. It took, you know, a couple hours to get everything done. While I was in there, there was a guy named Thomas Gallant who used to be an EMT, and he found himself working in the ER over time, and he said that he used to be a Marine and that he used to work for Blackwater. And the weird part was I had just been reading the book Blackwater by Jeremy Scahill. This is Shell Street, SC Hell. My name is Sharon Cole, so I think it's interesting. Shell Street, SCHELL. Isn't that weird? Here at the ER, Pennsylvania Hospital. So anyway, this guy, Thomas Gallant, he said something. I was like, oh, that's scary. I'm kind of afraid of the world of Marines and Blackwater. He's like, oh, no need to be worried. We're here to help and blah, blah, blah. They gave me a special rate. I had to sign a waiver because I said I didn't have health insurance, which fit in with the universal health care agenda. Not on purpose. Like, it just, I wound up in this position, unable to afford healthcare as an independent and worker per se and contractor. Because I'd been freelance writing before.